Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading. And yes, I was absent yesterday, Saturday, and in a quite shocking situation. I have to say, a friend of mine's house burnt down yesterday in a wildfire. It is fire season here in the Western Cape. So far it's been very quiet. We've had quite a cold, wet summer, but nature made up for it in the past few days. It's been incredibly hot, incredibly windy. There have been fires all over the place. A fire actually took my Wi-Fi out yesterday. Fire not very close, but on the network. And so I had no Wi-Fi. I also had to rush to the rescue of a friend who lost just about everything in a very, very heartbreaking fire yesterday. Our lovely old house, a thatched house, burnt down. Luckily, community has rallied around and is helping out, but still it's all very shocking. It's all very distressing. There was no time to do any tarot, obviously, but I'm back today, getting back into the energy. I have the new chapter tarot on the tarot table today, and I'm reading on some strange stories revolving around Lilibet Diana, Mountbatten, Windsor. I'm doing these readings for my own entertainment and for my own light relief today, even though the topics are quite strange. And so let's remind you, as I shuffle the new chapter tarot, and out comes such an interesting card in the light of the readings we're doing today, the Magician. Let's remind you, it is just a tarot reading for entertainment purposes. It's all speculation, it's all just my opinion. And I read on the royals because they're archetypal, and we can apply the lessons that we learn from them to our own lives. And there is, of course, a disclaimer in the box below. Please read it, please form your own opinions, particularly as we are talking about a child today, a young, innocent child, Lili Diana. And the cards are ready. The cards are ready anyway for me to talk about this first story. We'll give them a bit more of a shuffle before I get into the reading. This first story that I want to do today is about the IMDB profile that's been set up in the name of Lilibet Diana, Mountbatten, Windsor. And she is allegedly going to be starring as herself, and then in brackets, Princess Lilibet, spelt incorrectly, Lily with two L's, Princess Lilibet though, in the coronation and crowning of King Charles III and Queen Camilla. So eyebrows have been raised as a result of this posting on IMDB. And for those of you who don't know, it's an industry network where you can post yourself as a producer or an actor or writer or whatever and put your credits. And Meghan Markle at some stage had herself down as starring in the coronation. I think she's taken that down. I haven't checked recently, but now Lilibet are going to be starring in the coronation as Princess Lilibet. So inquiring minds want to know, and inquiring minds want to know to distract themselves from fires and water damage and things like that. They want to know who posted this. Was it Meghan, or was it some crazy sugar eager to see Lilibet in a tiara? We want to know how eager Meghan herself is for one more shuffle, for Lilibet to be at the coronation. I've read on the children appearing, this sort of offer of having the children there. So how eager, one more again, does Meghan want Lilibet to be the eager leader? She wants her to be there. How eager is Meghan for Lilibet to be Princess Lilibet? And what's going to happen? What is going to be the outcome of all this strangeness? Little 5-card reading just to get me back in the zone, back in it. And let's see what the new chapter tarot wants to tell us about this rather odd little tale. I would think if it were Meghan, she would have spelt the name correctly. So that's my only sort of coherent thought on this at the moment. But what do we have here? Wow, we've got the Ten of Swords in reverse. Wow, that's a very difficult card. that is somebody who's reached rock bottom. And just to force the point, the next card down is the Ten of Wands in reverse. Two quite similar energies. I put them next to each other actually. Ten of Swords in reverse is somebody who has absolutely reached rock bottom. And you wouldn't think so from all the things that are going on in the book and the docuseries, and Meghan's going to be writing her own book and cozying up to billionaires allegedly. But Ten of Swords in reverse tells its own rather sad tale of ruin, really. Endings. Somebody who thought they were onto a good thing, and then it turned out not to be a good thing, and the Ten of Wands confirming it in reverse, just letting go of stuff. So this is desperate measures. The fact that the card is in reverse can mean that somebody's trying to recover from hitting rock bottom, that they're trying to turn things around, and that would be if Lilibet were to achieve a starring role in the coronation, just like Prince Louis did in the Jubilee. That would help, wouldn't it? Meghan Markle didn't get to be Princess Meghan, but even though she's trying very hard to make that fly, but Princess Lilibet, it might all be worthwhile if Princess Lilibet actually gets to be famous, the golden child, allegedly, as many people think that Lilibet is for Meghan Markle, or speculation, of course. So let's see the situation. Please, universe, tell us about the situation. We're getting harrowing cards. It's a card I don't like looking at, that depiction of the Six of Swords, so I'm going to put it away and look somewhere else. But the Six of Swords is the need to move on from something that's very difficult. A lot of conflict, a lot of disturbance in the force field. And there is a lot of disturbance in the force field at the moment, just by the way. But this is the need to put something difficult behind. And I think the difficulty was the way all of those interviews and publications and television series and podcasts and things have fallen so flat and caused such controversy and such backlash, and it wasn't foreseen. And now the need to move on from that difficulty. So let's see who posted this. Was this Meghan Markle, or was this Sugar, who is trying to help things along and raise the profile of the Harkle children? Well, just one of them. We got the Princess of Discs in reverse. That's not a Meghan card. It's not a Meghan card, but it could be back passage, because it is a communication card. It's the Page of Pentacles normally in tarot. The Princess of Discs is a communication card. It's messages. Pages, princesses are messages. And we're talking about a princess, are we not? In this reading, Princess Lilibet. But the card is in the reverse. I don't think it's got Meghan's I was going to say footmark, fingerprints. I am obsessed with those feet. We know that. I haven't mentioned them for a while. I don't think it's got her fingerprints over this, her stamp on this. As I say, she would have at least spelled Lilibet correctly. But I think it is a Sugar. That's my speculation. It's my opinion. With that quite juvenile energy, with it in reverse, that it's back channels, it's undercover, posting that wishful thinking. They're sending a message out of wishful thinking that Princess Lilibet is going to be there and is going to be the star of the, how did they word it, which is rather silly, the coronation and crowning. Just in case you didn't get it the first time round, the coronation and the crowning of King Charles III and Queen Camilla. So I think we have our answer there. This is not Meghan's doing. This is someone else's, a junior energy. Wishful thinking. How much does Meghan herself, according to these cards and the energy of these cards, how much does Meghan Markle herself want Lilibet to be there? We have read on this before, and yeah, the Hanged Man in reverse. Definitely would like the children somehow to be released, or Lilibet, or herself, to be released from some kind of limbo that she's found herself in. She's tied herself up in knots with this whole coronation debacle with the demand for the apology, which she thought was going to be a cinch. She and Harry, the royals, would back down, they would apologise, they'd have that family meeting in Montecito, stay with the Harkles, drink that oatmeal latte or whatever it is, and it would all be good, and the Harkles would achieve a signal victory. But no, they managed to tie themselves up in knots. They managed to get themselves into hanged man energy, where they can't move. They're in limbo, and while they're dangling there, they're having to have a big think. That's what happens to the hanged man. He has a big think while he's hanging there, so that when he's finally released, cut down, he is able to act, and he's able to act in a smarter way. And that's apparently what's going on with the Harkles. They're trying to rebrand themselves. They're moving away from all this toxic stuff, attacks on the royal family. It finally seems to have dawned. Perhaps too late. We'll look at that. But yeah, she would like very much for there to be some action and something proactive, rather than being just powerless at the moment as they are. So yeah, a big card, Hanged Man, Major Arcana, and definitely she would like some action. I think the royals have boxed them in, given them an ultimatum. Now you have to decide whether you're coming by whenever in April, because we need to reserve seats for you, and Rishi Sunak needs to go through the list of invitees and invitees and okay them all. So put the Harkles in a bit of a bind, and that's what the Hanged Man is telling me. So what about the princess thing? How important is it for Meghan that Lilibet is Princess Lilibet, spelt correctly? Oh, another princess. Goodness, we've got 2 princess cards in this new chapter tarot. Princess of Cups, absolutely, it's something Meghan dreams of. It's her biggest wish. It would go along hand in hand with that apology, because the Princess of Cups, which is also the Page of Cups in traditional Rider-Waite, is apologies, is messages. Please forgive me. It's a bit ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. That kind of energy will make Lilibet, Diana Mountbatten Windsor, a princess. And Charles can dandle her on his knee when the crown has been placed on his head by the Archbishop of Canterbury. It's a great wish. It's a dream. It's something she feels very emotional about. What's going to be the outcome of all of this strangeness? Is Lilibet going to be there? The sun, there is possibility that we are going to see Lilibet somewhere along the line there. The sun is illumination, is spotlight, usually has a child depicted in it because it's innocence and playfulness. She could just get her dream, her wish, in terms of having some role for the children. There is mention of the Harkles being involved in the carriage ride to Westminster Abbey. I saw that in the last few days, that, you know, off they would go, and in that procession would be the Harkles in something that might just turn into a pumpkin as they drive along. Perhaps people will boo and hiss and lob fruit at them, or tomatoes or whatever. But they seem to be quite restrained. The public, when they see the Harkles out and about, very polite and self-controlled and dignified, and don't stoop as low as some of us might wish them to for our own gratification and enjoyment. And it is a state occasion, of course. Why debase it just because you don't like the things that the Harkles have done, the things that the Harkles have said? But that's a big card. So there could be some happiness ahead for Meghan Markle in her desire to promote her daughter and push her ahead and make her part of this enormous occasion that is going to be looked back at for many, many centuries to come, if life continues along its expected path. Who knows? Big giant meteor might just strike. It did kind of in my life yesterday, and certainly in my friend's life. So who knows what the future holds. But that is the reading. Some hope there for Meghan Markle, herself a sun, a Leo, and a big card. And we will have to wait and see how this negotiation goes, because it's a bit of a chess game at the moment, and one moves and then the next one moves, and it is all quite fascinating to watch. I'm sure it's not fascinating for the royals, but fascinating for us. So that's the reading. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to hop on with the next one quickly.